following videos will show how we install water catchment systems. The first step is to estimate how long of a tube we will need. The tube should extend about a foot off each side of the roof. If your tube isn't long enough, then you'll need to glue two pieces together. Apply glue to the inside of one pipe and to the outside of the other. Then quickly push the tubes together as far as they can. Let the pipes sit for about a half an hour before moving them much. It's important to quickly close the lid of the glue or the glue will dry out. Next, we need to determine how big of a slot to cut in the tube. Hold the tube up next to the edge of the roof and mark where the corners of the roof meet the tube. That's how long of a slot we'll need to make in the tube. Or use a tape measure to measure from one corner of the roof to the other, and then take that measurement, use it to mark where to cut the slot in the tube. The slot should start about 6 to 12 inches from the edge of the tube. Once you know where the slot will start and end, then you can cut off the excess. Again, cut off the end of the tube about a foot from where the slot will end. Mark where the slot will begin. Continue marking the first line, the entire length of the tube. Use something straight to make sure that the line is straight. Mark the second line, parallel to the first line, all the way to the end. Again, using something straight to make sure that the lines are straight. Cut where we marked the beginning of the slot. Then go to the other end of the pipe and cut where the other end of the slot will be. Don't cut all the way through the pipe, just in to make the slot about 2 inches wide. Use the tip of the saw to start making the cut. Once started, continue cutting until you reach the point where the slot is supposed to end at the other end of the tube. Once the first slot is cut, again use the tip of the saw to start the cut for the other slot. it's important to be careful and make sure you don't cut the slot all the way to the end of the pipe. Make sure to stop where you've marked and cut the slot to stop. We need to punch some holes in the roof. Use the hammer and a nail and something to pound against to punch holes in the roof about every 2 to 3 feet. The hole should be about 5 inches from the edge of the roof. Cut lengths of wire about 2 feet long. You can cut the wire by bending it back and forth quickly at one location. Make a loop that will temporarily support one end of the tube while we work on the other end. At this point, it's important to make sure that the slot in the tube is in fact long enough for the edge of the roof to fit into. Once it's in place, hold the tube in place with the wires that go through the holes that were just made in the roof. Twist the wires. You may need to add more holes to hold the tube securely. The hole should be about 4 to 5 inches from the edge of the roof. Hold the pipe securely to the roof by bending wires, by putting wires through the holes, wrapping it around the tube, and then twisting the wires tightly. You may need to add more holes. The holes should be about 4 to 5 inches from the edge of the roof. You will need to determine what end of the tube the water will drain from. Pour several gallons of water on the roof and see which side the water flows out of. Put an end cap on the end of the tube that the water does not flow out of. Buckets or a tank can be placed directly below the end of the tube where the water comes out. Or you can pipe the water to another location. Put all the pipes and bends together first without using glue to make sure it works. After you are sure that the tubes will fit, then glue everything together.